Have you guys ever heard of a commercial getting pulled off the air and internet less than 48 hours after the initial release? Today we will be using the social judgment theory to help us understand the failed message behind Pepsi's Jump in Pepsi Moments commercial, which stars American actress and model Kendall Jenner. The question we will answer today is, why was Pepsi's Jump in Pepsi Moments commercial so heavily rejected? Social judgment theory was brought to us by theorists Muzafer Sherif, Carolyn Sherif, and Carl Harland in 1961. Krell 2011 states that this theory refers to the internal processes that occur when a person is presented with an issue or argument, with attitude change being the desired outcome of the persuader. In more simpler terms, this theory is used to explain when persuasive messages are most likely to succeed and how people make judgments about them. So this is a little thing of the social judgment theory. Oh my gosh. So in order to start this theory, you need a message, and the message that we're using today is a commercial, but it can just be any persuasive message. And then it leads in ego involvement, and ego involvement refers to how important an issue is to our self-identity, so how much we care or relate to the message. And then there are things called anchor points or anchor statements, and that is like little things that people say throughout the message, of which you either relate to, you might not agree, disagree, neither. And that puts you in latitude of acceptance, which is accepting everything. You might have been persuaded to accept it. Latitude of non-commitment, neither agree, disagree. And latitude of rejection, which is usually things that you just don't believe, you don't care for. Okay, well, we'll leave that. So in 2017, PepsiCo launched a campaign, Live for Now Moments. This campaign featured the commercial Jump in Pepsi Moments, and this ad was to reach millennials and to protect the global message of unity, peace, and understanding. So now we will go to a clip of the commercial. So the beginning of this commercial is actually just not that important. It's just them kind of walking around. It shows the protest, but we're going to skip to where you actually see Kendall Jenner's part in this commercial and why it was so controversial. So Tillman states that many people criticize the ad for its insensitive approach and for what some viewers found to be improper execution of the desired message, which could be because the commercial was launched during the Black Lives Matter protest. And I would also like to point out at the end of the commercial, you see Kendall Jenner handing the cop the Pepsi before he drinks it. She goes back to the crowd. She's cheering, applauding, and that is what a lot of people view as the white savior. So they see her as a white savior in this video. I'd also like to point out that during the Black Lives Matter protests and the movement, when it was heavy during this commercial, a lot of that was surrounded around police brutality and the fact that she's actually going up to him, handing him a Pepsi. If that would have been someone of color or anything like that, it could have went a different way. So I feel like they're just portraying like the wrong message in general, kind of just like an unrealistic message. So a lot of the problems the commercial ended up receiving a lot of backlash and had to be pulled off the air and internet in less than 48 hours. Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter actually even uploaded a tweet that says, "If only Daddy would have known about the power of Pepsi." And then Pepsi responded back with, "We at Pepsi believe in the legacy of Dr. King and absolutely no disrespect to him and others who fight for justice." So this was reaching a lot of people in the wrong way. And we don't think Pepsi intended to do that, but that's what everyone else took of it. So this persuasive message was not successful simply because Kendall Jenner was a star, and a lot of Black Lives Matter protests found that wrong and offensive. And so to tie the theory and the artifact, the commercial together, so as I stated, Pepsi's message was to reach millennials and to protect a global message of unity, peace, and understanding. For ego involvement, it could have been the audience might have been drawn to it and related to it through the protests and the forming of the unity, because at the beginning of the commercial it does show just everyone kind of coming together. They see this going on, they're joining. And so that leaves whether people were falling into latitude of acceptance, non-commitment, and latitude of rejection. And as I said, there are anchor points. And these are the ones that I pulled from the commercial. So I saw protesting for unity, coming together, enjoying Pepsi. But then we also saw the very end, just Kendall Jenner, the white savior, handing the cop the Pepsi, just cheering and applauding. And that's where it went wrong. So to answer the question, the reason that Pepsi's Jump in Pepsi Moments commercial was so heavily rejected was because of the underlying message the audience saw that Pepsi might not have when releasing the commercial. This commercial failure is actually a very important lesson. So Smith 2017 states, "If the Black Lives Matter movement were led by a 21-year-old white supermodel armed with a can of fizzy soda, then maybe everyone would just get along." And even though Pepsi probably had no bad intentions with the commercial, a lot of people took this message offensive and thought Pepsi was trying to display Kendall Jenner as a white savior. This commercial could have been more successful if Pepsi would have chosen an African-American actor or actress, since it was released at the same time people were protesting Black Lives Matter. And I think Pepsi's failure has gone to show, always remember who will see your persuasive message and think extra about how they might perceive it. That way it can stay on the air a little longer than 48 hours. So thank you.